And we're ready whenever you are, Mayor.
Thank you. Good evening and thank you for attending tonight's City Council meeting. For those who are attending remotely, the camera in council chambers is set up to show those attending in person tonight. The platform we are using has a raise hand feature. You will notice a picture of a hand in the upper right-hand corner. When we reach the point in the meeting where the public has the opportunity to address council, you can click that button to be given your opportunity to address council. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Tully,
Here.
Councilor Silly,
Here.
Councilor Powers,
Here.
Councilor Scamperly. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mayor.
Councilor Scamperly has asked to be excused for family reasons at tonight's meeting. Is there consensus to excuse Councilor Scamperly?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Councilor Stevenson,
Here.
Councilor Trim.
Here.
Councilor Weaver.
Yes.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Well, we do not have any presentations tonight. We have two public hearings. The first is regarding a local law to amend Chapter 221-47B2 of the Ogdensburg Municipal Code entitled Accessory Uses and Structures. It is Bill number 36, and I will open that public hearing now. If anyone attending in person would like to speak regarding the public hearing, please come down to the podium and you will have 5 minutes to speak. If anyone attending remotely would like to speak regarding the public hearing, please use the raise hand feature in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and you will have 5 minutes to speak.
I do not see any hands raised, Mayor.
Thank you. So I declare the public hearing closed. The next public hearing is regarding an ordinance authorizing the city manager to enter into a license agreement to operate the Dubisky Visitors Center concession to Nathan Griffith. It is Bill number 40, and I will open that public hearing now. If anyone attending in person would like to speak regarding the public hearing, please come down to the podium and you will have 5 minutes to speak. If anyone attending remotely would like to speak regarding the public hearing, please use the raise hand feature in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and you will have 5 minutes to speak.
I do not see any hands raised.
I declare this public hearing closed. That brings us to personal appearance. At this time, if anyone attending in person would like to address council, please come down to the podium and you will have 5 minutes.
Good evening. My name is C.T. Ayler. I'm a new resident of Ogdensburg, and I was appointed to the Arts Council last year with another person in newcomer, Dale Sheldon. We were informed that we were not to do anything but to sit and wait. We made multiple contacts with the city manager, Andrea, who had said that the recreation person was going to be our point on this. There were two other people who were on the Arts Council from before, who apparently they were voted in before the pandemic, appointed before the pandemic. And they said that it was a lovely council and a lot of things are happening. We wanted to know what. There has been no answer. We were told to wait. It's been a year. I have my name on the website, and that's it. In April, I asked the city manager and your county clerk if I could make a presentation to council. I opened my home to the other Arts Council members asking if they could meet. I was told everyone is busy. I'm busy. I was told to just come and speak to you for 5 minutes. And that's all the time I would have. So last night I sent to all of you an email that I knew was going to get some responses. So I do apologize to all of you for it being a little bit of a scam because I just wanted to be heard, not told to sit and wait and not have anything done. How are you not embarrassed? I'm embarrassed. I think it's a travesty. I'm supposed to be representative of this community and assist the council by helping you with direction of the community. I'm supposed to work with the staff. It's on your website about what we're supposed to do. And I'm told to sit and wait. And I'm told everyone's busy. Again, I'm busy. That's not an excuse. After a while, it comes across as rude, as avoidant, and quite simply just told, you're a foreigner, you're an outsider, you're not welcome here. Sit down and shut up. I want my name removed from the website. I do not want to be associated with this embarrassment joke of a council. It is not an arts council. It doesn't exist. It is not there. There has been zero accountability, zero action. And no matter what we've tried to do, we've been told nothing. But wait. Oh, and busy. Unacceptable. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Now, if anyone attending remotely would like to address council, please use the raised hand feature. The city clerk will recognize and unmute one person at a time, and you will have 5 minutes.
I do not see any hands raised.
That brings us to correspondence. I believe we have one letter tonight.
Yes. Hello, my name is Denver Chamberlain, and I have owned a house on Mechanic Street for 7 years now. In that time, I have seen the city continue to decline because of the meth, heroin, and crack problem. I have been helping the police, but I want to do more for our community. It's time for the honest, law-abiding citizens to take back our city before they destroy it and it becomes a ghost town. I bought my house with the intention of leaving a legacy for my family, and I'm ready to fight for it. I talked to the people at Code Enforcement, and they suggested I write you a proposal so I can address a city council meeting. I would like to gather enough people so that we can use legal social pressure to blanket all of the meth labs and drug houses all at once. Of course, we would work with the police and city and any other agency. I have already inquired about having a meeting at the library. I just want to follow proper protocols so that we work with you and the police and don't add to any confusion. It's time to take back our city. Please help me take back our city. My phone number is 315-276-4713. Sincerely, Denver Chamberlain.
Thank you, Kathy. Next is our consent agenda. That the claims as enumerated in general fund warrant number 9-2024 in the amount of $816,911.45 and library warrant number 9-2024 in the amount of $0 and capital fund warrant number 9-2024 in the amount of $160,239.23 and Community Development Fund warrant number 9-2024 in the amount of $75.98, and Community Renewal Fund warrant number 9-2024 in the amount of $0 as audited, be and the same hereby are ordered paid. I so move.
Second.
Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Mayor Tooley,
Yes.
Counselor Silly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
approved.
We have several appointments tonight. First, I will make a motion to reappoint Steve Hawes, Paul Pyrie, Esther Ann O'Connor, and Mandy Roberts Amo to 3-year terms on the Pride and Beautification Commission terms to begin May 13th, 2024, and end December 31, 2027. I so move.
Second.
Discussion. Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
approved.
I make a motion to reappoint Tim Redmond, Frank Peretta, and Ryan Frary to 3-year terms on the planning board, terms to begin May 13th, 2024, and end December 31, 2027. I so move.
Second.
Discussion. Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
approved.
I make a motion to reappoint William Flynn to a 3-year term on the zoning board, term to begin May 13th, 2024, and end December 31, 2027. I so move.
Second.
Discussion. Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
approved.
I make a motion to reappoint Amanda Gary to 4-year term on the Arts Council, term to begin May 13, 2024, and end December 31, 2028. I so move.
Second.
Any discussion? Kathy, please call the roll.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
approved.
I make a motion to appoint William Farren to a 3-year term on the Tree Commission, term to begin May 13, 2024, and end May 13, 2027. I so move.
A second.
Any discussion? Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
approved.
I make a motion to appoint Doug Loeffler to fill the unexpired term of Scott Wilson on the Recreation Commission, term to begin May 13, 2024, and then December 13, 2028. I so move.
Second.
Discussion. Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
approved.
Moving to items for council action, our first item of business will be read by interim city manager Andrea Smith.
This is a local law to amend Chapter 22147B, subsection 2 of the Ogdensburg Municipal Code entitled Accessory Structures, Accessory Uses and Structures. Be it enacted by the City Council of the City of Ogdensburg as follows. Section 22147 of the Municipal Code entitled Accessory Uses and Structures be revised as follows. 22147 accessory uses and structures. The following policies shall be established by the City Council. Exempt accessory structures. B, exempt accessory structures. The following listed accessory structures and uses do not require a building permit to be issued prior to their initiation, provided they comply with the Uniform Code and the general and specific standards for accessory uses and structures. 1, freestanding structures of no more than 150 square feet in size. 2, structures no higher than 10 feet in height. 3, storage of firewood for personal use. 4, storage of personal recreational vehicles or equipment. 5, wading or ornamental pools less than 24 inches in depth.
Does any member of council wish to make a motion to introduce this?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Just to point out to the public that the one change is in the height of structures, and it's been amended from structures no higher than 6 feet to structures no higher than 10 feet in height. Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
approved.
Our next item of business will be read by interim city manager Andrea Smith.
This is an ordinance authorizing the interim city manager to enter into a license agreement to operate the Dubisky Visitor Center concession to Nathan Griffith.
Does anyone wish to introduce?
I'll move it.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
approved.
Our next item of business will be read by interim city manager Andrea Smith.
This is a resolution to approve the sale of surplus property following the May 7th, 2024 surplus property auction.
Does anyone wish to introduce this?
I'll make that motion.
Second. Any discussion? And again, there are 4 parcels being sold tonight. The first located on Brown Street, $4,000, buyers Jeremy and Mary Caruso. 935 State Street, $8,500, buyer Daniel DeLuise Sr. 1217 Ford Street, sale price $3,000, buyer Daniel DeLuise Sr. And 1127 Pickering Street, $12,000, buyer Daniel DeLuise Sr. Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim, approved.
Our next item of business will be read by interim city manager Andrea Smith.
It's a resolution to approve the sale of city-owned surplus property at 17 Main Street, parcel B.
Would anyone care to introduce this motion?
I'll move it. If you just give a quick overview summary of,
If you get a second first, please.
sorry,
All right, go ahead.
just a quick overall summary of
So this is the resolution that will allow the interim city manager to complete and execute these sale documents to At the Docks LLC for tax map number 48.078-4-4.111, parcel B of 17 Main Street. This is the piece of property that was part of the September 2021 joint response with River Street Brewing Company and At the Docks LLC for 17 Main Street.
I would point out that the buyer has completed the required reviews with the zoning board of appeals and with the planning board. I would also note that terms of sale include a restrictive covenant that required the complete construction of this project within 2 years from the date of closing, with the option that the city purchase back the property at that time for the purchase price if it's incomplete. It's consistent with the agreement we have with the other sale. Kathy, please call the roll.
Mayor Tulley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim, Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
approved.
And that brings us to old business. Does anyone have any old business to bring before council this evening? Hearing none. Does anyone have any new business to bring before council this evening?
Mr. Mayor, I guess
Yes.
with what we heard at the public part of the agenda, what is going on with the Arts Council right now? This has been a constant issue for the Arts Council to get off their feet, and it's very discouraging.
Personally, I wasn't aware there were any issues until the string of emails began yesterday
Yeah.
among members of the Arts Council, some of which were shared with council, some of which were shared with me, and some were not. Let me just say on behalf of this council, okay, we are very interested in seeing the Arts Council get underway. At the same time, the request for a member of the staff administrative team to be a liaison as part of that committee, I do think has been a challenge. And it's something personally that I would like to wait and defer until such time when we have another city, our next city manager in place. Again, we're targeting July 1, hopefully for that appointment. And let that person evaluate among the staff have discussion among the staff who might have an interest in the skill set. At the same time, that would give council the opportunity to talk among ourselves to see if anyone has any interest as being a liaison with council, which is something that the members of the Arts Council has requested. So I can't speak to the situation, the lack of the ability to meet over the course of the past year, as stated tonight. All I can do is, put our best foot forward to see if we can get underway and make that Arts Council an active body as we approach the second half of this calendar year.
Mayor, not disagreeing with the need for a liaison or request for a liaison from staff or council. Is there a requirement that a liaison has to be present for them to have a meeting?
Not that I'm aware of.
I didn't believe that any of our other councils were necessarily attended by a member of staff or council every time they held a meeting.
I was always under the impression it was the rec director.
In the past, it has
Oh,
been,
yeah.
yes. Mhm. But in the interim, we haven't had a rec direct for
Right.
quite some time. And it's very discouraging when someone gets all geared up, all excited about doing something, and then they're told to wait. Is there any way, we're looking at July 1st, that's a month and a half. Is there any way we could at least do a temporary type liaison until then? Just to allow the Arts Council to meet, so they can at least feel like they're doing something?
Well, at this point, after tonight, I think we have 2 members on the Arts Council. We have a resignation tonight. We had 1 seat open already, and then we had another current member of the Arts Council request that her name not be put forward tonight. We have not had the opportunity to approach that person to ask to reconsider. So I'd like to take that opportunity. So I think we need to, I'll say, reconfigure the Arts Council to get them a functioning board. And then, once we have that body in place, then we'll see what the timing is with regards to looking for a liaison from staff and or council.
I would have to concur with the mayor here. It's simply based off, as a council, as we started off together, all 7 of us here, there was a lot of things that needed to be readdressed, a lot of committees that needed to start to meet again. Here we are in May. We're 5 months in with 5 new councilors. And with that being said, it's unfortunate for the Arts Council, and it's unfortunate for her to resign in this fashion. We got an email later this afternoon from another member. He's frustrated as well, but I don't think it's a true depiction of what was said here tonight. I think that ultimately, going forward, we continue to push as we have in the beginning, which was our agenda, to continue to see these things through. And unfortunately, there's a lot of frustration out there, and it doesn't just stem from the great people that want to come and work in our committees and serve the community in any facet, but there's bigger pictures that we're dealing with as well. So there's a lot going on, and it's unfortunate that she resigned tonight. As I read the emails this morning, quite frankly, the trail of emails, unbeknownst to me, was it a significant issue? Apparently it is, but there's a lot of checks and balances here that we're getting underway, and we have to maintain that. And it's unfortunate that we had this happen tonight, but I don't think that I don't think there's it's difficult because we've always had somebody sitting there for the Arts Council, and now we don't have that. We don't have a rec director. We're coming into May. We're coming into the summer. We don't have a rec director. And unfortunately, that position sat over the Arts Council. And, I'm not slighting the Arts Council, but again, we don't have a rec director. And we've got baseball coming up. We've got softball. We've got all these children activities. We've got the pool to get open. There's a lot of things going on. And it's just unfortunate. I think we just keep plugging away. I think we just keep pushing the way we have.
And it's my understanding we will have a report at our next meeting from Andrea and staff with regards to the current status of our of our recreation program. The Recreation Committee has had an initial meeting for recently. So again, as Councilor Powers points out, there have been some consultative bodies that for various reasons, beginning with the pandemic, but moving forward, just have not been active for various reasons. And we are trying to work with them to get them and staff to get these commissions up and running again, because they do all provide value to our entire community as consultative bodies to staff and to this council.
And I don't disagree with that, but respectfully, I think this has been a council that has had an arts council that's had issues from as long as I was on council last time with meeting regularly and having support with that. And I think that a lot of our tourism can come from having an active arts council. So to tell the remaining members to wait until July, I think that that's a lot to ask. Can we just give them permission to go ahead and meet on their own? Do we have to have somebody there?
I think they've already met on their own. It sounds to me like she's opened her home once, and more importantly, I think a lot of this stemmed from the fact that they wanted to do a presentation tonight. Well, they didn't get it in time for the agenda. And, the mayor addressed that. And, we're doing, we're looking to stay within the confines of procedure. And, with that being said, they're happy. I'd love to see them at our next council and do a presentation of what they've done, what they've conversed about, or what they have going on. I'd love to hear it.
But I think in the emails that were exchanged today, part of the problem is that as a council, they haven't been able to get their four members together at any one time to meet.
Mm-hmm.
So they've, regardless of whether a staff person is available as a liaison, they've had difficulties getting their committee together to meet as well. So again, I just think, a fresh start is needed. But the first step in the first start is going to be trying to get that council as full as it can be.
And I don't disagree, but I respectfully disagree with the content of the email and the tone of it. I read it differently, but again, you can read something differently by different historical knowledge, etc. My understanding is they're asking for meetings in the evening and on weekends because that's when they could gather people together. But we could debate this for a long time. I just want the council to know that we support them, the Arts Council know we support them. We're working on it, we're aware.
Yes.
That's my main concern.
Jen, can I ask a question? When you say appoint somebody before July, would that be one of us?
If that's the pleasure of the council, yes, one of us. If that would make a difference, I think that would be something that we could look at doing.
Could it also be a city employee?
Well, it used to be a city employee. It was the
used to be the rec director.
It could be a different city employee while we're without a rec director.
We don't have many of them.
That's why I thought if it were a person of the council, then at least it could be an interim until that could be settled. That was my thought process.
So if somebody
I mean, it's
council is willing, that sounds like a good plan. If somebody here is willing or able to.
I think it's warranted a further discussion, and yeah, I think it might not be a bad idea. We could look within the confines of the charter to see whether it's allowed, the admin regs, and if that were the case, I'd be happy to serve on it. Myself. I'm not looking to put myself in front of anybody.
Yeah,
here,
that's fine with me,
obviously,
as long as it's someone. So is that something we could do if there's no?
I think we could send it for
doesn't
review,
work?
couldn't we? Andrea, we could send it for review. Would there be a conflict with the charter or admin regs? I can't think anything off the top of my head to have a council member preside over, but
I mean, happy to look into it. I think the bigger issue is that there have only been 2 appointed members up until today. We had hoped to do 2 more reappointments, get everything up to current, which would bring it to 4. They would be able to actually meet and take some action. I think, as the mayor pointed out, there has been some difficulty among those 4 members, with or without current terms, just finding a common time to get together. I've talked to a few of the members today. So I think that's part of the issue, that their schedules are not driving. I think that's more of the issue than anything else. But we can certainly look into council establishing a liaison in the interim.
Well, I just would hate to have someone out there that's interested in saying, well, I don't want to be on that one. It's not taking any action until later. I'd like to see at least a beginning meeting, something start if it's possible. Thank you.
Let the record show that Councilor Scamperly arrived at 6:30 this evening. Any other items for new business? Moving on to items for discussion. At this time, I'd like to invite Police Chief Kearns to address City Council.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Appreciate your time this evening. Just wanted to bring to the community's attention and to Council's attention that National Police Week for 2024 actually started yesterday, May 12th. And as part of National Police Week actually includes Peace Officer Memorial Day, which is in May 15th of every year. And that was established by President Kennedy. So that is something that we celebrate here locally at the police department every year. And tonight, actually, I'll read a little something kind of explaining part of what National Police Week is. So again, this year, communities across the United States will honor and remember those law enforcement officers who made the ultimate sacrifice, as well as the family members, friends, and fellow officers they left behind. This year, the names of 282 officers killed in the line of duty are being added to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial in Washington, D.C. These 282 officers include 118 officers who were killed during 2023, plus 164 officers who died in previous years, but whose stories and sacrifices have been lost to history till now. The Ogdensburg Police Department, by order of the Chief of Police, will be flying the American flag at half staff in honor and in remembrance of 2023's fallen officers until sunset May 18th, 2024. According to the Officer Down Memorial page, New York State lost 17 officers in 2023 and has sadly already lost 6 officers in 2024. The names of the 282 fallen officers nationwide will be formally dedicated during the 36th annual Candlelight Vigil, which will be held tonight at the National Mall in Washington, D.C. at 8 p.m. This can be seen on multiple social media websites to include YouTube, which is put on by the National Law Enforcement Memorial Foundation. If you just do a quick Google search of that, it's again National Law Enforcement Memorial Foundation. You can watch that memorial live tonight at 8 p.m. On their website for National Police Week, throughout the week we'll have live events that the public can watch via live. I know there's members from Northern New York. I know we have a local trooper from right here from Ogdensburg that is attending on behalf of local law enforcement officers down in Washington, D.C., which is a great honor. And I personally am bound and determined to get down there some year before I retire. So I again appreciate your time to let me speak on this here tonight.
Yes, thank you for sharing this with us, Chief. It's certainly National Police Week is certainly something that should be recognized. I'm glad you shared this with us.
Thank you.
I've attended the Washington event 2014, 15, and 16, and the whole week is fantastic down there. And not to acknowledge that, but more importantly to emphasize the very diligent and hard work that law enforcement, police, peace officers, fire, EMTs, rescue, all of it, the first responders, the mental and the physical anguish that comes with this job can really take a toll on people. And this is a great week, and I hope you get there myself, quite frankly, soon.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Can I just echo Mike's comments and really give my thanks to our department that puts themselves on the line all the time. Saw on the news today, another officer went down, young guy, 23 years old. Not in our department, of course, but it's a tough time for law enforcement right now. It seems to be at a low level of respect. And every time I turn on news, it's very unfortunate. My father, when he was a police officer, he got shot 3 times at point blank range, and lucky enough to live, and thank God. So we appreciate all you do, all you do. Thank you.
I would also echo that, and it's quite frequent that that week coincides with the Realtor meetings in Washington. So I've had the privilege of being on the plane with family members of fallen officers, had long discussions with them, and the same thing when we're in Washington, traveling the halls of Congress, et cetera. So it is very understood the sacrifice that not only the officers but the families make. Tragic losses. Thank you for all you do.
Any other items for discussion?
I have one, Mayor. I'm
Yes.
looking for a little clarification. I left a little confused and it's gotten worse since the last meeting. We were told that the fire department, due to injuries, illness, retirement, was looking to be $300,000 over budget. I'm just trying to confirm that that's, well, at the beginning of the year, we hired 6 firemen. And we were told that that would save $500,000. I'm just still trying to confirm that we're $200,000 to the good from the budget that was passed last year.
Well, after the presentation at last meeting, we asked city controller to come with us with revised projections for this calendar year at the second meeting in May. So I'm anticipating report at that, we'll see what the projections show at that time. My recollection isn't the same as yours. My recollection was the projection was a reduction in expense this year of $100,000, $300,000 next year. So again, I don't know how to, the $280,000 over and overtime. I don't know how to equate that to the original budget, or we're talking versus the revised budget. And again, so we'll hopefully get some clarification for our questions at the next meeting.
That's coming in May.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up. Any other items for discussion?
I have and I don't know if you guys talked about it. I apologize for being late. Had a family, something going on with my kids, academic recognition. I didn't want to miss it. But I don't know if you talked about where we're at in the rec department yet. Do we have any bodies to?
There's a report from staff that's going to come to us at the next meeting with regards to the recreation program.
Excellent.
Do you know the recreation committee recently met?
Oh, good.
The first meeting in this calendar year.
Good. Excellent.
All right. Anyone else? All right. I do have a couple of items. Last Wednesday, I attended the Hometown Hero ceremony conducted by Ogdensburg's Pride and Beautification Commission at City Hall. I was pleased to see so many in the community honored their veteran family and friends by contributing to this program. It was heartwarming to hear the stories many told about their heroes, the emotions of those speaking, showing the pride with which they hold their loved ones for their military service to our country. In the past, I have noticed the Hometown Hero banners displayed on our city streets since the commission began this celebration. But after last week's program, I have a greater appreciation for the work performed behind the scenes by the Pride and Beautification Commission. The city of Ogdensburg is truly enhanced by the Hometown Heroes program. And so just again, another thank you to all commissioners of the Pride and Beautification Commission for all they do during the year to help make our city a more attractive community for our citizens and visitors. Next, on Sunday, May 19th at 1 p.m., the local U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary will host a ceremony outside the Dubisky Center to commemorate the week of May 18th through 24th as National Safe Boating Week. I will read a proclamation at this ceremony recognizing National Safe Boating Week in the city, and I encourage members of the public to attend this ceremony. And then lastly, with regards to the letter that was read to us tonight from Mr. Chamberlain, I would suggest council asks staff to develop a response to that, maybe with an update of where the police stand with regards to neighborhood watch program. This seems like an aggressive approach to a neighborhood watch program. But, but I do think there needs to be some reaction to it, so we can demonstrate again our concern for the citizens. We know these issues are out there, but, and we need their help, but in a controlled manner. So I'll turn this over to Andrea, you work with staff on this, please.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Anything else on items for discussion? That brings us to citizen participation. At this time, if anyone attending in person would like to address council, please come down to the podium and you will have 2 minutes. If anyone attending remotely would like to address council, please use the raise hand feature. The city clerk will recognize and unmute one person at a time and you will have 2 minutes.
I do not see any hands raised.
Right. I would like to introduce the following resolution. Whereas Mayor Tooley requested an executive session with members of the Ogdensburg City Council in executive session to discuss proposed pending or current litigation. And whereas New York State open meetings law permits City Council to adjourn to executive session for such purpose. Now therefore be it resolved that City Council adjourn to executive session to discuss proposed pending or current litigation, and be it further resolved that any action resulting from this executive session shall be taken in open session. I so move.
Second.
Discussion? Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Scamperly,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tooley,
Yes.
approved.
And then a second resolution, whereas Mayor Tooley requests an executive session with members of the Augsburg City Council to discuss matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. And whereas New York State open meetings law permits City Council to adjourn to executive session for such purpose. Now therefore be it resolved that City Council adjourn to executive session to discuss matters leading to the appointment, employment, promotion, demotion, discipline, suspension, dismissal, or removal of a particular person or corporation. And be it further resolved that any action resulting from this executive session shall be taken in open session. I so move. Second. Discussion. Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Powers,
Yes.
Counselor Scamperly,
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson,
Yes.
Counselor Trim,
Yes.
Counselor Weaver,
Yes.
Mayor Tooley,
Yes.
Counselor Selly,
Yes.
approved.
And I would just like to note for the public that we will deal with both items at the same time in executive session. And there's a possibility of action once we conclude executive session. No?
You guys just have the resolution, sorry.
Oh, okay. This is a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to execute an intermunicipal agreement with St. Lawrence County. Whereas the city of Ogdensburg and St. Lawrence County have determined that a mutual agreement between municipalities to coordinate and work cooperatively with one another with respect to issues of concern to both, namely the impact of the administration of said benefits on the county's self-insurance workers' compensation plan, as adopted through local law number 1 for the year 1956. Now therefore be it further resolved that the interim city manager is authorized to sign the attached intermunicipal agreement with the St. Lawrence County, outlining the duties and responsibilities of each party as it relates to legal guidance for the development and implementation of a general municipal law sections 207-A and 207-C policy and program for the city. I so move.
Second.
Can we get a brief overview of what this accomplishes, Andrea?
Sure. So presently, when an employee is injured on the job, they may qualify for workers' compensation disability. That covers 2/3 of their salary while they're out dealing with that injury. There is an additional benefit afforded to police and fire for on-the-job injuries, which is covered under 207, specifically 207A and C. For police and fire. And we have requested to work with the county attorney, Mr. Button, to develop policies for both fire and police to review and administer those benefits to employees, because we do not have them presently in either department.
Thank you. Any question or comment? Kathy, please call the roll.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Counselor Trim?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Mayor Tulley?
Yes?
Counselor Silly?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Scamperly?
Yes.
Approved.
Next, a resolution to appoint a city manager. Whereas the Ogdensburg City Council has completed its review of applicants for the position of city manager and has selected a candidate to appoint as city manager. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Ogdensburg City Council does hereby appoint Xenophondas Cronus, also known as Fonda Cronus, to a 3-year term as city manager of the city of Ogdensburg beginning July 1, 2024 and ending June 30, 2027. I so move.
Second.
Just a statement to read. The city of Ogdensburg will host a press conference this Saturday, May 18th at 9 a.m. in City Hall Council Chambers to introduce Mr. Cronus to our community. Some brief comments about Mr. Cronus's background. He graduated magna cum laude from Syracuse University in 1992 with a BA in Political Science Policy Studies. In 2015, Mr. Cronus graduated from Syracuse University's prestigious Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs with a master's degree in public administration with a concentration in local government financial management and an additional certificate in e-government management. Prior to earning his master's degree, Mr. Cronus was a business owner and corporate manager in the private sector. Since earning his master's degree, he has worked as an administrator in county government, and currently his employment focuses on economic development. City Council looks forward to Mr. Cronus joining our community as city manager beginning July 1. Any other comments from council? Kathy, would you please call the roll?
Counselor Trim?
Yes.
Counselor Weaver?
Yes.
Mayor Tulley?
Yes?
Counselor Silly?
Yes.
Counselor Powers?
Yes.
Counselor Scamperly?
Yes.
Counselor Stevenson?
Yes.
Approved.
Thank you. And with that, I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.